flight delays, chaos and frustration, yet the turbulence shows no sign of easing. From stranded passenger to skyrocketing airfares, IndiGo's ongoing crisis has ignited nationwide outrage. The Prime Minister's office has stepped in to assess the situation, while the Aviation Ministry has promised swift action with assurances of fair prices as well. I will break down for you details one by one. First, the action that has been taken by the Ministry of Civil Aviation. Now, this is as far as the action is taken. The action number one is IndiGo has been asked to issue refunds by 8 o'clock on December 7th, that is today. Action number two is that airfares have been capped for the scheduled domestic airlines. Action number three is that weekly rest rule for the pilots has been withdrawn. Action number four, IndiGo has been asked to set up a refund and support cell. Action number five that has been taken by the Ministry of Civil Aviation is that IndiGo, the airline, has been asked to deliver misplaced baggage in 48 hours.
कैंसल हो गई हमारी, मेरी बेटी की एंगेजमेंट है आज.
The wife is pregnant. I had to be there. If you had to send me somewhere, you should have sent me to Delhi.
टिकट कैंसिल किया. आप रहने को दो, खाने को दो, सोने को दो.
And I'll tell you what the measures that have been taken by the Ministry of Civil Aviation. Action number one, as we told you, that IndiGo, the airlines, has been asked to issue other refunds by 8 o'clock today. Action number two is that airfares have been capped for scheduled domestic flights. Action number three is that weekly rest rule for the pilots, as we told you in the last 2 days, that has been withdrawn. IndiGo has been asked to set up a refund and support cell. And action number five is that IndiGo has been asked to deliver the misplaced baggage of the people in the next 48 hours. Now, DGCA has also issued a second notice now to the account manager. Remember, yesterday there was the first notice that was issued to the CEO of IndiGo. Now, the second one that has been issued to the account manager. Two officials' notices have been issued to IndiGo, and DGCA has issued show cause notices to. First one is to the IndiGo CEO over massive flight disruption. The DGCA has served a 24-hour show cause notice to IndiGo CEO after widespread cancellation and delays caused severe passenger distress. For more on this, let me go across to my colleague Kritika, who's been tracking all the details. Kritika, we're learning that two show cause notices, first one to the CEO of IndiGo and the second one to the account manager, has been given by DGCA. What is written in it and how much time has been given to the officials to give the answer to this?
That's right, Akansha. This is the big action being taken by the DGCA, where in a 24-hour notice, a show cause notice has been issued to both the IndiGo CEO as well as CEO, who's also the accounts manager. Now, as per the notice, both of these officials have to justify why legal action should not be taken against them in light of of course, the massive disruptions we've seen on part of IndiGo because of them not adhering to, in fact, the new rules which allowed for an additional day of rest for pilots and other crew as well. The roster has also to be explained by these individuals to the DGCA, which led to the massive disruptions as well. We've seen over 1,000 flights also in a day also being cancelled. So as far as the DGCA action is concerned, they have to now furnish details of what all methods and operations were taken at their end to ensure that such a disruption does not happen. Was there a lack of proactiveness, or were there sitting ducks just for this, in fact, chaos to occur? These are the questions that are being, the answers of which are being sought by the DGCA at the moment. Remember, the ministry also has taken cognizance of this. Yesterday, they had, in fact, updated the nation that a situation is turning back towards normal, in fact, at a lot of airports across the country. And they've also made it very clear that passengers are going to be a priority. And in line with this statement is now the show cause notice that has been in fact issued against the CEO as well as the Chief Operating Officer as well of IndiGo. IndiGo, remember, 20 years, 2 decades of performance has all gone down in a show of massive mismanagement, which passengers had to face the brunt of. We've also heard about how somebody is missing their exams, somebody is missing, in fact, funeral processions and their own marriage receptions also because of the chaos that has occurred at airports across the country. And now by the end of day is when both the CEO as well as the Chief Operating Officer have to answer back to the Civil Aviation Ministry as well as the DGCA regarding the steps that were taken ahead of time in order to prevent this and whether or not they were adequate. Over to you.
Absolutely. 5 days after we saw massive disruptions at the airport, DGCA has kicked in, with many asking if this is too little, too late. They have issued a show cause notice to the CEO and the second one to the account manager. Stay on with us, Kritika. Even after 5 long days, the government has finally decided to put a cap on the soaring airfares on the domestic flights. What are the new prices and how much you'll have to pay now? Here are the details on your screen. So if the distance is up to 500 kilometers, the max airfare will only be 7,500 is what the Ministry of Civil Aviation has said. So if the distance is between 500 to 1,000 kilometers, the max fare that airline can charge you is 12,000 rupees. 1,000 to 1,500 kilometers, the max airfare can only be 15,000, and above 1,500 kilometers, the max airfare has in fact been capped at 18,000 rupees is what we are learning. So this is as far as the distance and the airfare capping is in fact concerned, because in the last 5 days, ever since the disruption at the airports has started, we have seen that the flights between Delhi to Mumbai, which are usually around 5,000 to 6,000 rupees, max to max 8,000 rupees, has been in fact kept for 35,000 rupees is what we are learning. And now there's a price cap by the government. So if the distance is up to 500 kilometers, the max airfare can only be 7,500. 500 to 1,000, the max airfare can only be 12,000 is what we are learning. All right, now moving on and shifting our focus, let's tell you about what is happening at the Jammu airport as far as IndiGo flight operations are concerned. We're learning that 10 IndiGo flights which operate from Jammu, 9 are operational, 1 has been cancelled. So on day 6 of the operational crisis, as far as IndiGo is concerned, we have already started seeing the cancellations once again. Let me go across to my colleague Ankit, who's been tracking all the details from Jammu airport. Ankit, we're learning that as many as 10 IndiGo flights operate from Jammu. Many of them go towards the national capital. 1 has been cancelled. So it appears that on day 6, the issues have already started.
Yes, absolutely. Yesterday we have seen 10 out of 7 was operating from the Jammu, 3 were cancelled. But today what we are learning is that 1 flight has been cancelled, 9 are being operating from the Jammu. We are at the Jammu airport. You can see the passengers are coming over here. They are inquiring about their flights, but we are learning is that the 1 flight has been cancelled today, but 9 of the flights are being operating. This shows a little bit relief for the passengers of the IndiGo. Yesterday we have also seen a Vande Bharat train which was run special for the standard passengers. The people show the anger over the IndiGo. What has happened is the much chaos. It is in the history of the aviation sector. We have seen such a chaos at the airport, but today it is a much relief for the passengers, especially for the standard passengers. Today, 10 out of 9 are being operating from the Jammu. 1 of the flights is being cancelled. This is the current situation, what we are getting to know.
Absolutely. In the last 6 days, in fact, we have seen that as many as 2,000 plus flights have been cancelled. On day 6 today, the cancellation has already started. We can see that in Jammu, 1 IndiGo flight has been cancelled. We'll, in fact, get you the statement by IndiGo in just some time, but let's give you the ground situation from across the country. We are now learning that on day 6, in fact, the cancellation has already started. Let's take you through the statement that is coming from IndiGo, a new statement, and I quote, addressing the recent disruption in our network, we have cancelled a significant number of flights and operated little above 700 flights yesterday, connecting 113 destinations. The main objective was to reboot the network system and roster so that we could start afresh today with higher number of flights, improved stability, and there are some early signs of improvement. So this is what the IndiGo has said, that there are some signs of improvement. Today we are on our way to operate over 1,500 flights by the end of the day. With regards to the destination, over 95% of the network connectivity has already been re-established as we are able to operate to 135 out of the existing 138 destination in operations. While we understand that we have a long way to go, we are committed to build back the trust of our customers. We would like to thank all the partners and the government agencies for their constant support. But this is the main point. In fact, they have said that they will be able to operate on 135 out of the existing 138 destinations today. They will be operating over 1,500 flights. Remember, IndiGo operates as many as 2,300 flights a day. So they are saying that we are on our way to operate over 1,500 flights by the end of the day. So it appears that there will be few cancellations and delays today as well, but this is some improvement that IndiGo has spoken about. We'll try and connect with our reporters to learn what the situation on the ground is, because here IndiGo in fact says that there are some early signs of improvement. They will be able to operate 1,500 flights by the end of the day out of the 2,300 that they usually operate, and they will be able to operate to 135 out of the existing 138 destination in operation. So on day 6, while we saw that there's been one cancellation as far as Jammu Airport is concerned, whether there will be delay and cancellation on other airports as well is something that remains to be seen over the day. Let me go across to my colleague Mohit Bhatt, who's been tracking, in fact, all the details. I beg your pardon, Ankit Bhatt from Jammu. Ankit, we're learning that cancellation has happened in Jammu. There's been one flight that has been cancelled, but now a statement that is coming from IndiGo, they're saying that that in fact, as far as the operations are concerned, it will be in fact better today. What are you learning there from the staff as far as IndiGo is concerned? All right, we'll try and connect that line with my colleague Ankit. But as far as Jammu Airport is concerned, we're learning that one flight has been cancelled. And now the big question remains, an airline which enjoys 65% of the market share has failed their own flyers. IndiGo offered an apology, that too after 4 days after that chaos began. Day before yesterday, their CEO in fact issued an apology. But many people are asking if apology is enough for the mother who couldn't attend her daughter's reception, or for a daughter who could not go to her father's last rites. Esmo.
कल मेरी शादी हुई और आज सुबह विदाई हुई एंड हमारा ये था कि 3:30-4 बजे तक हमारी फ्लाइट है, बट आगे पता चलता है कि फ्लाइट डिले है या फिर कैंसिल हो सकती है। तो पूरा श्योरिटी भी नहीं दे रहा कि कैंसिल है। आपकी शादी कहाँ हुई? गुड़गांव, धनकोट, झारसुगड़ा, उड़ीसा। तो आपकी फैमिली कहाँ है? अभी मेरी फैमिली सारी गुड़गांव है। एयरलाइन से कोई कम्युनिकेशन? जी नहीं, वो तो पूरी श्योरिटी दे ही नहीं रहे हूँ कि डिले है या फिर कैंसिल है।
I was traveling from Hyderabad to Lucknow. The flight gets cancelled. They don't inform me. They give me a replacement or an alternative option, routing me through Bangalore. Okay. I run around, just about to miss my flight for Bangalore. I come here, then the connecting flight to Lucknow is again cancelled. My wife is pregnant. I had to be there. If you had to send me somewhere, you should have sent me to Delhi. I could have at least walked over there in 2 days. Who's going to pay for the 2 days that they have stranded me over here? I got to take a hotel, first wait for 5 hours to get my check-in itself.
And with this, a short break. Keep watching Times Now.